Right, welcome to this, I don't know, I guess I'll call it a tutorial. I've not planned this, so I apologise if it goes really, really wrong. The reason I wanted to do this is just to talk about this little thing down here, the Korg Volca Keys that I've got. I've only had it a week, I've not had a chance much to play with it. Absolutely love it, it's brilliant. It's got a fantastic fat analogue sound for bass sounds and lead sounds. I picked it up last week. I was at BPM music, DJ electronic music show. In 2 months whether to buy it. It was 85 quid, so I thought, well, for that I'll get it. The only limitation I found with it was, unless I'm missing something massive and being massively stupid with it, is that you can't actually save any presets on it. So obviously, you know, you've got to remember your positions on your dials and so on. That is until today, when I came across this genius piece of software. It's called Volca Control by Fabrizio somebody or other. I'll put the links to it in the description. And it basically within it's a Max for Live device. So if you've got Ableton Live, you can control the whole of the Volca from within Ableton. And the genius thing with it is, as long as you do your sounds from the interface within Ableton, you can save presets, which I know I'm a synth geek, and I got really excited about this morning, so I thought I've got to do a video to share it with you and just kind of show you how I've got my setup. It's probably far too complicated for what we need to do, but I'm going to talk you through it. So just on Ableton for now, I have this set up as a bit of a template. So when I launch Ableton, I now get this this template. So I've got a template for the TR-8. So basically I've got a drum rack, which actually does work. Okay, so I've got a drum rack, so I can play all of the TR-8 sounds from push, which I just find it easier to program on there. Again, absolutely love the TR-8. Find it a little bit limiting with only having 16 patterns on there, because I like to have quite complicated drum parts. So the fact that I can do clips and get them all off there, again, genius, whoever made this. I think that one was free, if I remember rightly. I've got the same thing with the TB-3, and I've got a control thing on that, so I can automate and record automation and so on, everything with that. And I've got the same thing for this Volca. The TB-3 thing is free. The Volca thing is $8, if I remember rightly. I bought it this morning, which works out just over £5 in English money, so it's nothing, and for what it does, go and buy it, because if you've got a Volca and you want to save your presets, it's awesome. So if I just talk a little bit about how I've got all this connected together, because everything's kind of roughly sort of synchronized together, and I've got it set up as well. So the Volca, okay, I can play it off push, I can play it off this keyboard, this MIDI keyboard, or off there. If you've got really fat fingers like me, not like that, but you know, you're not going to play on that unless you're doing it with a little stylus, like the stylophone from the 1970s, and I'm not going to go there because it's a little bit too Rolf Harris. So if I just try and talk through how I kind of my signal flow. So the MX-1 is my sound card. I'm using that as the sound card. The TR-8's going into that into USB 1. The TB-3 is going into that into the USB 3 connector. The TR-8 is receiving MIDI on channel 10. The TB-3 is receiving MIDI on channel 2, which are pretty much the default settings. So when I bought the Volca, like I said, you know, it's hard to play on there. I got this old Roland, back in the Eddie Roland days of Roland, which they don't do anymore, I don't think. This controller I've not used for years, but it's quite a nice full-size keys on it. You can't get drivers for this for Windows. I mean, I'm on Windows 10 now. You couldn't get it for Windows XP, I don't think. Never mind Windows 8. But it's got a good old-fashioned 5-pin MIDI cable at the back. So I've just got it powered up on the mains, and it's only got a MIDI out, and the Volca's only got a MIDI in. So I could connect that straight to the Volca, great, and it's going to play that no problem, but makes it hard then to be able to connect it up to Ableton and the computer and so on. So what I'm doing MIDI wise is I've got MIDI out coming from this PC300 going to MIDI in on the TB-3, and then I've got the MIDI out of the TB-3 going to the MIDI in on the Volca Keys. I've got this set up to send on MIDI channel 3 and the Volca to receive on channel 3. So basically it's just going through the TB-3, so that's kind of being used as a bit of a MIDI interface as well, which great. It just sort of works. I hope that makes sense. It kind of, you know, I get thinking, what the hell am I doing with it? But it kind of works. So if we just go over to the Volca little control thing, obviously we've got all the controls on here. All of these can be automated. You can do them from your laptop, or the genius thing is, if I just get this camera, and I'll try and reposition it back where it was. Okay, I'm going to take this over to push. Okay, if you've got push, we've got on device, so we're on Volca Keys, plug in the thing there, and we click on just the arrow down, and we get all the banks. So we can actually control the Volca, the cutoff, and everything else from all these different banks on push. Okay, which is brilliant because it means you've got all of this control and the keyboard and so on to control everything on that. Because as fantastic as it sounds, you know, they're a little bit small, the keys on that. Okay, so try and position that back where it was. Okay, I'm not going to edit any of this out. It's just a rough and ready video. So I've got a sound that I quite like on the Volca, which I've created within Ableton Live. So if you want to save that preset on this, all we do is you hold your shift button down and you click one of these buttons here. Okay, so I've actually got that saved on the first one, but I'll save it again. It's on there. One little thing I do love about this, it's got an XY pad, which is awesome, and you can assign pretty much any of the controls to the X and the Y axis. I love this random button. Click on random and it's going to generate some different sounds, okay, just at random. You know, let's then and just, yeah, you can just keep clicking through those. If you like one that you like, you can save it on there on the preset. Obviously, the limitations are the presets are only going to be on this this Ableton project, I think. Actually, no, tell a lie. You can, if I choose, let's go back to the original preset. Okay, I'm telling you wrong, right? Nope, sorry, hang on. That one, which for some reason is not loading. And do a random again. There we go. You have to double click, not click on it once. Yeah. Right, so there we go. Like I say, I'm not going to edit any of this rubbish out. I just like to see people how I work and go wrong and try and work things out. What was I saying? Right, saving the preset. Yeah, so what you would need to do is write, and then you can save, pretty sure, that preset anywhere. So if I pour, I'll save that as, I don't know, Volca bass. And that should be on my desktop. There he is. Okay, and then if I want to load that in again, I would need to read it, find where you got it on my desktop, somewhere there, yeah. Okay, and it's there. All right, so you can load any of those presets in. Absolutely genius, love it. Just the setup here, I've got MIDI, it's bringing the MIDI in from push on all channels just so it comes in. This is because that's connected direct, it's going to pick it up from that one as well. And then I'm sending my audio to channel 1 on the MX-1. Okay, so I've got control over that on the MX-1, and at the moment when I'm writing, I've got this set up that if I play on Ableton, it's going to trigger the MX-1, so I can use the beat effects and so on and that, but it's not triggering the TR-8 or the TB-3 because I like to do those from within Ableton Live. So let's have a quick go. I'll get a little, we'll have a bit of an improvisation, see if we can get something going. We'll just do a 2-bar little loop. So I'm going to go, so I'm doing fixed length, 2 bars. I'll have the metronome on. And we'll just do something with, let's pick a scale. Well, I've got it on there, A flat minor, that will do. And I'm going to hit record, and we should get a new rid of that. Okay, that's better, like that, it's alright. Should we quantize it? Why not? No, that's way worse. Let's go undo that. That's alright. Okay, so one of the things I love on the Volca is that the portamento, you get a lovely glide on it. So let's extend a couple of notes out. That's all of them. Let's extend a couple out. Let's do that one. To there, see what that sounds like. So let's just turn the portamento up a little bit. Sometimes you need a little bit of an overlap to get that lovely slide. Let's slide this one. Sure about that one. That'll do for now. I'm not composing a masterpiece here. No, that's the old crap. Let's get rid of that one. Let's make it a little bit longer. Right. So just demonstrate how the TR-8 thing works. So like I say, I've got a drum rack, got the snare and bass for some reason. So if I want to go on closed hi-hat, which is this one, okay, so it's not working. The reason it's not working is because my MIDI is not going anywhere here. So I need to be sending it to USB 1, channel 10, and there we've got the closed hi-hat. Okay, let's start with the pattern there without wanting to. Let's just get rid of that. And then we just save it, because I know I'm going to lose this otherwise. Always save your work, boys and girls. Alright, save it's Volca demo, that's fine. So, let's, yeah, we'll do two bars. Let's do like let's get snare on 2 and 4. Okay, that's not bad. So if I want to add some hats onto that, again using push, all I would do is I'll press the duplicate button. That's going to copy everything across to a new scene here, and then on this one we'll just stick some 8th note hats on. They're sounding a little bit out of time. There may be a few slight latency issues, which I'm not going to fuff about with for now. What are we looking at on latency? Let's change that a little bit. No idea what I'm doing with see, it was my crap timing and quantizing that was out. So I'm finding that I like that bass. It's a little bit dry. So I think from the MX-1 we're going to add in a little bit of delay. So I'm using the master effects. So just highlight that. I'm going to have the delay, and we'll dial a bit of that in. About that with the filter. So that's controlling the Volca keys, just on the cutoff. Because I've got a visual readout, I can see I can take it back to where I was before. Do is let's duplicate everything again, and then on this one all I'm going to do is copy across the pattern I've got for the Volca. I'm going to send that to our lovely friend the TB-3 for some squelchy acid loveliness. At the moment we've got no sound, so now I've got to work out why we've got no sound. So I'm doing something stupid, I know. Let's have a look. Let's look at the MIDI settings on here. Probably needs to go. Here we go. Okay, so it's just the settings on the external instrument that needed to be sent out to the MX-1, the USB 3. Sometimes, I'm never sure why, sometimes it works on the USB 3, sometimes on the control. No idea, just mess about with it so it does. But I'm making sure that's going on channel 2 so it's not triggering anything else. Let's have a listen to that on its own. Okay, that kind of works, so we bring that in with. And the TB-3 playing together. Okay, it's kind of creating quite a nice glitchy sort of effect on that. Yeah, I like that. Makings of a little track there. Hopefully that's been of some use, and so you can see how you can incorporate push, MX-1, TR-8, TB-3, Volca Keys, a crappy old, well I say crappy, it's not, it's quite nice actually, but an old MIDI controller, you know, in with Ableton Live, and then you've got all the benefits of everything you can do within Ableton as well. I mean, I've not even scratched the surface of effects and bits and bobs on Ableton Live, but the whole point behind this is, say, the Volca Control thing. And so I'll put a link to that in the description. It's a genius little bit of software. Go and buy it. Have fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.